You know, some crimes are clever and some are just bold. But every once in a while, a crime comes along that's so brilliant, so perfectly executed, people call it a work of art. Today we are talking about a heist so audacious it's been called the crime of the century. Let's dig into how they actually pulled it off.
So, what was the prize? A cool $100 million. That's the estimated haul in diamonds, gold, and cash. It was, and it still is, one of the biggest diamond heists in modern history. I mean, the stakes just don't get any higher than this.
And the setting for our story is Antwerp, Belgium, which is basically the diamond capital of the entire planet. The target was the Antwerp World Diamond Center, and its vault was a legend. It was considered a fortress, absolutely 100% impenetrable. Or, so everyone thought.
To really get how incredible this crime was, you have to understand what they were up against. Just how secure was this place? Well, let's take a look.
10. That's the number. Not one, not two, but 10 separate, high-tech layers of security. Each one was designed to stop a thief dead in their tracks. It was supposed to be impossible.
I mean, just look at this list. It's a thief's nightmare. They had to get through a 3-ton steel door. They had to crack a lock with 100 million possible combinations. They had to copy a key that was specifically designed to be uncopyable. And that's before you even get to the electronics. Magnetic sensors, vibration sensors, heat, motion, and light detectors. Oh, and of course, 24/7 video surveillance and armed guards patrolling the place. This vault wasn't just secure. It was a masterpiece of paranoia.
So who on earth would look at that fortress and think, yeah, I can rob that? Well, meet Leonardo Notarbartolo. He was this charming career thief from Italy, and he put together a specialized crew known as the School of Turin.
This quote right here, from the man himself, it really tells you everything you need to know about his mindset. For him, this wasn't just about the money. It was his calling. He saw himself as an artist, and that vault in Antwerp, that was going to be his Mona Lisa.
And of course, every great artist needs the right tools. Notarbartolo was the mastermind, the smooth-talking leader. He brought in the monster for the heavy lifting, the genius to handle all those crazy electronics, a locksmith so good they called him the king of keys, and the fast one to make sure they all got away clean. Seriously, it was like a real-life Ocean's 11.
Now, this was not some smash-and-grab job. This was the long game. The crew spent 3 full years meticulously planning, researching, and figuring out how to dismantle every single one of those 10 security layers.
Think about it. What's the very first hurdle? It's a huge one. How do you even scout a location that's locked down tighter than a drum? You can't just stroll in with a notepad. So, what was their move? Notarbartolo's solution was pure genius. He played the long con. For 3 years, he pretended to be a legitimate Italian diamond dealer, and he even rented an office inside the Diamond Center. He became a familiar face. He made friends with the guards, he charmed the staff, and eventually, he got so trusted that he was able to secretly film the vault with a tiny camera and even sweet-talk the building manager into showing him the blueprints.
Okay, so they're in. They've got eyes on the prize. But that's just step one. Let's zoom in on just one problem they had to solve. That magnetic alarm on the vault door. It's 2 plates, right? The second they separate, the alarm goes off. So how do you possibly get around that? This is where the genius really earned his nickname. He came up with a solution that was so simple, it was brilliant. He made a custom little aluminum bridge. By clamping this bridge over both halves of the sensor, he could then unscrew the entire unit from the wall as one piece. The magnetic circuit was never broken, so the alarm system never even knew the door was open. Absolutely incredible. So, after 3 years of planning, of building custom tools, of relentless reconnaissance, the night finally came. Saturday, February 15th, 2003. It was showtime. For the next 5.5 hours, they moved like phantoms. They slipped into the building, bypassed security, disabled that magnetic alarm just like they'd practiced, and made it right to the vault door. Everything was going perfectly. And then, it wasn't. At 2:30 in the morning, they hit a brick wall. The beautiful custom-made duplicate key, the one the King of Keys had painstakingly created just from watching grainy spy footage, it wouldn't turn in the lock. The whole operation, years of work, was about to go down the drain over a single key. But here's the thing. Their fancy tech might have failed them, but good old-fashioned human observation saved the day.
Because Notarbartolo, during all those years of just hanging around, had noticed a little detail. He knew the guards didn't lock the real key up in some super secure safe. Nope. They hid it in a dusty, forgotten utility closet nearby. He went straight to it, and just like that, they were back in the game.
And they did it. They got in, they cracked the vault, they looted the diamonds, wiped the security tapes, and walked away completely clean. It was, for all intents and purposes, the perfect crime. But perfection is a fragile thing, and this perfect crime was about to be unraveled by the dumbest, most ordinary mistake you can imagine.
Just think about the irony here for a second. On one side, you have this masterpiece of criminal planning, beating 10 layers of security, copying impossible keys, bypassing every sensor known to man, and on the other side, a single stupid mistake. They got lazy and couldn't be bothered to throw away their garbage correctly.
That's right. During the getaway, one of the crew had a moment of panic and just dumped a bag of their trash on the side of a highway. A little while later, some local guy finds it, gets curious, and looks inside. What does he find? Half-eaten sandwiches, right next to envelopes and documents from the Antwerp Diamond Center. He called the cops, and that one bag of trash gave them everything they needed to blow the case wide open.
So the crew gets busted because of a garbage bag. Case closed, story's over, right? Well, not quite. The final chapter of this story is maybe the most unbelievable part of the entire thing. For masterminding what was, at the time, the biggest diamond heist in history, what kind of sentence did Notarbartolo get? Just 5 years. Turns out, under Belgian law back then, non-violent theft carried a surprisingly light sentence. His crew got even less time.
And the diamonds? The $100 million prize? How much of that was ever recovered by the police? Exactly this much. Zero. Nothing. Not a single stone. The entire haul vanished without a trace, and to this day, it has never been found.
Which brings us to a really fascinating question to end on. Sure, they got caught, but they served very little time, they're all free, and the $100 million is still out there somewhere. So when you really think about it, was it maybe the perfect crime after all?